The Lost Camel. In India, at the time of Alakpuri's greatest power, there dwelt in it a great king whose name was Alakesa, and he was famous for all the riches which land and sea can yield. During his reign, the cow and the tiger drank side by side from the same pool, and the parrot and the kite, the Indian scavenger bird, laid their eggs in the same nest. Rain refreshed the soil when it was needed, and all King Alakesa's subjects lived like brothers in peace, plenty, and happiness. Now there was in Alakapuri a rich merchant who lost his camel one day. He searched for it for a long time without success, until he reached another city called Mathurapuri, the king of which was named Mathuresa. There were 4 ministers of that country, called Bodhadita, Bodhachandra, Bodhavyapka, and Bodhavibhishana. For some reason, they had become dissatisfied with their positions at court and decided to quit the city. As they journeyed along, they observed the tracks of a camel, and each made some remark about the animal, judging by its footsteps and other indications on the road. Presently they met the merchant who was searching for his camel. "Masters," said he, "have you met a camel anywhere in the direction from which you have come?" One wise man asked, "Was it lame in one of its legs?" "Yes, indeed," said he. "And was it not blind in one eye?" said the second wise man, "the right eye?" "Yes, it was," said he. "Was its tail unusually short?" asked the third. Yes, then you have seen it," exclaimed the merchant. "Was it not suffering from colic too?" interposed the fourth wise man. Yes, it was, but where is it now?" asked the merchant, in some distress. "We have not seen it," the first courtier said, "but we have observed its progress along the road." "Observed it? But please explain," cried the merchant. "We cannot possibly tell you where it is. We are all now on our way to the court of King Alakesa," replied the traveller. "But if you will come with us, we will give you the explanation of our findings." So the merchant had no choice but to go with them to the king, Alakesa, and complain that the 4 men had stolen his beast and hidden it somewhere. The king was sure that the men must know something about the whereabouts of the camel, since they had given a complete description of it. "You are all threatened with my displeasure," said he, "if you do not tell me the whole truth. According to what you shall now say, I will make judgment." The first traveller said, "I noticed, when first seeing the footprints of the camel on the side of the road, that one of the footmarks was deficient. Therefore I concluded that the animal was lame." "Good," said the king. "And you, Bodhachandra, what have you to say?" "I noticed that the leaves on the left-hand side of the road had been snapped or torn off," said the second courtier. "Therefore it was obvious that the camel was blind of his right eye." The third said, "I saw drops of blood on the road which I conjecture had fallen from the bites of gnats or flies. Therefore I thought the camel's tail was shorter than usual, as it could not brush the pests away." The fourth said, "I observed that whilst the forefeet of the animal were planted firmly on the ground, the hind ones seemed scarcely to have touched it, whence I guessed that they were contracted by pain in the body of the camel." When the king heard these explanations, he was struck by the wisdom of the 4 men and the logic of their replies. "Well spoken," said he, "and I will compensate you, merchant, for the loss of your camel, as it obviously will not be found easily. You 4 young men from Mathapuri, I beg to remain here and become my counsellors, for I have great need of your intelligence." And so they came to the court of the great king, becoming ministers of great importance.